Greetings, I'm Bairnt, and welcome to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. We're continuing our playthrough of Machina Arcana. We're continuing into the next chapter. Now, this video was shot back-to-back with the last video because I was just having so much fun, I just wanted to keep on playing. So if there were any errors made in the last video, they're not going to really be corrected until maybe the next video. I think our explorers are doing a great job. Now, if you're excited to see if they're able to make it through the next chapter, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop. So we're going to go ahead and flip our chapter space to see, or chapter card, and see what comes next. Oh, it looks like we're going back into the mouths of hell. All right, that looks pretty cool. We're going to move that up here and we're going to read. It says passage through. The vast echoing halls welcomed us again. They beguiled us once more to explore their murky corridors and dead ends, to embrace the cavernous rooms and fear the monstrosities prowling in the shadows. The mountains had become a desolate colossus, croning a funeral hymn. Assisted by the illustrations and scribbled directions in the journal, we were quickly able to locate our destination. In the middle of a wall, there gaped an enormous passage spiraling down into oblivion. A faint breeze caressed my face from below, carrying with it a hint of something disturbing. We glanced at each other nervously and stepped forward, our hearts pounding. So some of the things we can do in this one is we can move 3 spaces by paying an essence. And it looks like to go to the next chapter, we just have to sacrifice 4 essence. Now, that's a pretty steep cost. Now, we do have to set our horror rating back to 3, and then we have to set our spawn rating to 7. 7's not going to matter because apparently we don't ever roll anything less than an 8. So we're probably going to see a lot of monsters still. Now we do get to continue with Jesse. He's still got 3 stamina left. And I think what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and use this trap space. He's going to pay 2 stamina in order to use a trap space. And when you activate a trap space, it's going to attack everybody that's on one of these squares, these trap squares, for 3 black dice. And yes, our tree is on one of those. We need to take it down. Sadly, Paul Bunyan is not around to take him out, which is a reference from a giant lumberjack, but instead we're going to use our trap to try to take down that tree. So our tree here does have 4 defense. Hopefully we can get him. We have to roll 3 dice for using that trap, and let's see how we do. We got a total of 3, 6, 7. We have totally taken this tree down. He loses his 1 health. So Jesse is going to start playing the essence climbing game yet again. And since Cthulhu is a level 1 monster, we are going to remove him from the game along with his standee. Sadly, we're spawning so many monsters that we're going through those level 1s pretty quick. With my luck, we're only going to have level 2s pretty soon. Now we're going to have to... He has 1 more stamina left. I don't know what to do. I think we'll move 1 over here. Maybe I can get them adjacent to each other so he can trade that, sickle or whatever, that giant scythe that he has to him. So to complete Jesse's turn, he used the trap for 2 and he has moved for 1. Now it's going to be Artemis's turn. He's got 3 different options he can do. 1, he could attack with his heavy javelin with 3 attack against this thing. Now, white dice aren't the greatest, and this thing has a defense of 5, which is really good. So I think what our best bet is we could use our mirror to make him take our defense this round, which is a 2. That's one of our options. The other one is just to attack him straight up and hope we roll well. Or, of course, we have the best option. You guessed it, our best option is his ability. Move up to 2 spaces, so I don't even have to attack him to do this. I can just, at 2 range, I can go ahead for 2 stamina and an essence. I can move this guy 2 spaces. And of course, the reason that's better is because I don't actually have to roll any dice. So we're going to do that. We're going to move him 1, 2. Bye-bye, formless spawn. He's going to fall into the pit, and he is going to be dead. Now, that little maneuver cost me 2 stamina and 1 essence, but I'm going to gain the essence back since I dropped him into the pit and I have killed him. So he's going to remain at 4 essence. And he still has some stamina left. He's got 4 left. He's going to move 1 right here, and then he's going to initiate a trade action with Jesse. So at this point, I can spend 2 stamina to give or to receive any number of items from either person. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do. Now, anything we trade here is going to go to the other characters unequipped. So they're not going to come into play right away. For example, I might want to get this from him because I could start restoring health if I want to, but it would have to take me some time to actually equip it. I do want this, so we're just going to go ahead and take that. That's an auto give. Now, it is a 2-handed weapon, which means I could augment this and put this on top. I think we're going to do that. We're going to grab all the stuff from Jesse. Jesse, you can have this. I don't know what you're ever going to do with it, but you can have it. You get so many items, I don't think it matters to you. But if I want to, I can upgrade this, or augment this, I apologize. And these can be put together, and then I can use any of these things on here. Even though this is a 2 and this is a 1-handed weapon, since they're attached together, it's kind of like it's a Scythe Force alternator thing, Horde Reaper, is what it's going to become. But we're going to put that right there for now. I can't equip it because it costs me 2 to go ahead and trade. Now, of course, I do have 2 left. Oh, I don't. I had to use 1 to move. So I still have 1 stamina left. I forgot I had to move 1 square. Now I don't have enough to actually equip these because I do need 2 in order to do the use inventory. Oh no, I need 3 stamina to use the use inventory action. So sadly, I'm not going to be able to put these on until next turn. Now I do have 1 more stamina, and I'm going to go ahead and move right there. Now I could have maybe used a couple essence from him and 1 from him to go ahead and complete this chapter. I totally forgot to do that. Otherwise I probably should have and moved right into the next chapter. That's my fault. We're going to keep going here though. And we're going to go ahead and move into the spawn and horror phase. So I have a 7 here and a 3 here. So Artemis is going to go ahead and roll first. Yes, I've moved back to the black die and keep going back and forth. A 7. Wow, we spawned another monster. All right, let's see what Artemis has found. What is this? A flying polyp. It has 4 defense, 4 will, 2 health, and 5 stamina. And its goal is to get within 2 and attack me. When this monster hits, it pushes adjacent units 1 space. Uh-oh, it's ethereal. So we got to find a way to be able to hit that thing. We could use a trap, but I don't think it's going to be on any trap spaces. We have to try to get to that treasure chest and find a way to hit this thing with that item we found that we knew we put on top. Now, of course, he's going to get 2 health and he's going to go on the board. So our flying polyp is going to spawn. Let's see where. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's equidistance to this guy from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's the same. I'm going to put him right here. All right, now it's Jesse's turn. Let's see what he gets. He got a 4. All right, no extra monster, just 1 this turn. Now we're going to go ahead and do our horror phase right here, and then we'll go move that track if we need to. So we're going to roll this up and see what we get. Oh, we got a 9. So we do have a horror event, but I didn't only spawn 1 monster. So we're going to move our marker down 1 for our monster spawn. We're not going to move this one because we were successful, but we are going to go ahead and move our monster threat up 1. And now let's see what horrors befall our explorers. Lure in the dark. What happened? Why are we here? What? We blinked our eyes in the gloom, wondering how we had arrived at this spot. None of us could remember anything of the past few moments, as if we had moved forward without thought or will. The only thing certain was that we now stood closer to the malevolent glowing symbols on the ground. Explorers moved 2 spaces towards spawn space. Oh, that's horrible. All right, we're going to go do that. So Jesse's going to move 1, 2, and he's going to move 1, 2. We're going to move right up there next to this guy. This guy's come flying at us and kill us. He wouldn't have been able to reach us before. I think he's going to be able to get us now. And it's his turn. And according to his card, he's got 5 stamina. And he's going to try to get into range 2 to do a 3 attack. And he's going to push the unit 1 space. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be enough to be able to attack us. He's going to be able to be at range 2 with 3 dice. Now, I can take his defense, which is 4, which will be a lot better than what I have. So our flying polyp here gets to use 3 white dice, and I get to use my gazing mirror, which allows me to go ahead and take his 4 defense. So we're gonna roll these up and see if he's able to hit me. He got a 4-5. Yes, he has hit me. Why not? So Artemis is going to lose a stamina instead of taking any damage. That's going to be what he's going to do. All right, so now it's our turn. I was planning to go to the next chapter, but I think I'm going to do this instead. 1, 2, and then we're going to activate this chest. I'm going to go ahead and use my explored thing, put that there. I'm going to gain an essence, which is pretty much his life force now. So he does go up to 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and see what I can find in the treasure chest. So I get to choose 2. Yep, that's right, this one. Let's see what else I can grab. We're going to grab this artifact as well. Who knows? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to grab 2 consumables. Maybe I'll find a healing one too, and I'll know to try to pick that up in my next chest too. Now we know what this is, which is the one we're going to take no matter what happens. But what have we found here? We have found an electrocutioner. I can use this and discard it with 1 essence to attack 3 and 2 black and 2 white to any monster that is adjacent to another unit. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool, but I'm going to destroy that. Again, I'm looking only for health at this point, but I do want to keep this because I can activate this for 1 stamina, and we can go ahead and target unit is ethereal this round. Explorers can target ethereal units this round. That's our plan. So it took me 2 stamina to move over there, 3 to use that treasure chest, and then I'm going to use 1 more to go ahead and use my flask, and we're going to be able to target that enemy this round. Now I have to discard this, but that's okay. The other thing I want to do is I do want to use 1 essence to get that chapter space going. So I'm going to place one of my tokens on this to show that I've done one of the, go to the next chapter things, and I'm going to discard this because we've used it. And now it's going to be Jesse's turn, and he's, of course, you guessed it, using the Dominator. He can Arcane attack for 3. Now, this only has a 3 defense against Arcane, so I think that's our best bet. Of course, the other option we had is we could control this monster by spending 1 essence. Oh, we can't. I'm not within range 2. Oh, no, it's range 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I could move him into the pit if I want and call it done. But we're not going to do that. I think we're just going to go ahead and attack him. That's going to be our best bet. The other option we have is we could probably explode this barrel behind him as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the way he targets is he ignores obstacles, and this is considered an obstacle. So I could probably attack him with 3 here. That's going to cost me 3. Now we're just going to go ahead and hit him. We're going to hit him with this arcane attack. He has less defense against it. So our flying polyp here does have 2 health. And the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to do this. I forgot about my card. At the beginning of the round, I get to roll. If I get a 5 or better, I restore 1 health. I did not get to restore a health. I forgot to do that at the beginning of the turn. Now we're going to go ahead and hit him with that Dominator. We've got to use 3 black dice against him. And he's only got a 3 defense. So let's see how we do. We got 4. So that's enough to hit him for 1 damage. And now I get to roll again if I want to spend 3 more. Now, you bet I do. I'm going to use all my stamina to try to take this guy out. We need to get a 3 or better. And we got a 5. So that is enough to kill our flying polyp that was ethereal, and he wasn't because I was able to target him thanks to that item we found. So Jesse's going to use all 6 stamina, and he's going to gain an essence. And then we're going to go ahead and use 1, 2, 3 essence to finish off this chapter and move into the next one. And we also have to remove him from the board. Now he's a level 2 monster, so he's just going to go into the destroyed monster pile. And now we already know there are 2 ethereal monsters in the level 2 pile. So adding 3 more tokens to this is going to complete this chapter. It says go to the next chapter. So let's go ahead and flip our card and let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow, we found this giant ravine. Am I going to have to climb down this thing? Oh, that's pretty impressive. I really love the art in this game. It's out of control. It's so good and really puts you in the area of what you're trying to deal with. All right, let's see what we're doing. We're doing chanting from below. The path led us downward, further and further, until the air began to feel warmer, and our breath no longer misted in front of our faces. We reached another subterranean complex, identical in style and appearance to the area we had left behind. There was every indication of the cult's presence here. Modern instruments and fresh supplies lay in disarray all over the room. There was no time to examine them, however. I knew we had to act quickly, and I could see my anguish reflected in my companion's eyes. The faint sounds that had seemed to expand and rise as we descended had now grown loud enough to follow with ease. The music of the voices held dark depths of despair and peril. The chant rose in a crescendo, and at its peak, a brief quake shook the entire mountain. My soul quivered too, as if it was no more than a candle's weakly flickering flame. So we do have some extra things we can do again. One, we could only spend 1 to trade with explorers. Now I wish I would have waited. We also can use our inventory for 2 instead of 3, which is going to be pretty good because I can put that scythe on, or sickle, or scythe. I think it's a scythe. What is it? Well, I guess it's a reaper, but it looks like a giant scythe. Now I'm going to keep my horror and my spawn rating to 7. Actually, I have to move the spawn rating back up to 7. It was at 6. And now, sadly, in order to progress, we have to find a chapter space. So we have to move off this tile, either this way, or we can go off this way. Guess which way we're not going? Yep, we're not going those directions. We're going to be going this way, away from these spawn tiles. So we're going to move into our spawn phase. We're done with our explorer phase. So we're going to see if Artemis spawns a monster. He rolled a 7. Of course, Artemis is like the master of finding monsters. All right, hopefully Artemis does not find an ethereal monster. He has found, oh, the Byakhee. This thing, we've seen this before. It's got 5 defense and 2 arcane, which is going to mean he's going to get blasted by the Dominator. He gets to try to move up next to us and attack us with 3 black dice. Now, when a monster dies, this monster will teleport to its position. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 health on that monster, and we're going to put him on the board. So we're going to go ahead and put him on the board. He's going to go, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. He's going to go right here. And I did have a question about this that I think I can answer right now. When you do determine where you're spawning these things in, you do actually count as they would say, as the crow flies, or I guess you say as the Byakhee flies. You're going to go ahead and count through walls, through everything, to try to see what's the closest explorer when you're spawning from this spawn space, or this spawn space, but that's the closest one, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's right there. You don't count how a monster would normally move, you just count as the crow flies, or like I said, as the Byakhee flies. Now we're going to go ahead and roll and see if Jesse found a monster. He got a 2, so Jesse did not find a monster. We're going to lower that thing in a second, but we're going to roll for our horror event as well. And we got a 7, so we do have a horror event, and I have to lower our monster spawn by 1. So our monster spawn is going to go to 6, and then we're going to go ahead, and this is going to stay at 3, and we're going to go with a horror event. And for initiating a horror event, we do have to move our monster threat up 1. So let's go ahead and see what horror befalls our explorers. Far-reaching, your fear that eats their fears. You're a scream that drinks their tears. Slip through the cracks like the smallest tot. Walk and hide where they dare not. You can crawl through fire bare. You can run with feet ensnared. Scar their minds behind the doors and chuck their flesh through the walls. All right, monsters can target through walls, closed doors, and obstacles. Oh, yuck, we got to get this off. This is a barf card right here. This is going to be terrible. All right, we're going to go ahead and put that there. Now, all our monsters can go ahead and target through walls, closed doors, and obstacles. Unbelievable. The good news is the only monster on the board is a melee monster, so he's actually going to come flying at us anyway. Now, he only has 4 stamina, so he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the best he can do. He can't actually attack Jesse because he doesn't have any stamina left. Going into our explorer phase, we're going to go ahead and gain all our stamina back, and I think Jesse is going to go first. Actually, I lied. Artemis is going to go first. I've got a plan. First, he's going to go ahead and use his, the percolating stone to see if he can gain some health back. I'm again just going to roll right here. He got a 2. He did not gain any health back. That's too bad. This thing has been failing him, but that's okay. He's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 over to this side of Jesse. And what he's going to do is he's going to spend 1 stamina to again trade with Jesse. And this time, I should have done this originally. I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to use this and destroy it and gain 3 health right now. So that means Artemis is going to gain 3 health. He's also going to use 2 to use an inventory action because I can. So Artemis is going to use 1, 2, 3 to move, and then 1, 2, 3. 2 of it we're going to use an inventory action, and 1 is going to be that trade action. We are going to gain 1, 2, 3 health back. That's awesome. And that's going to be his turn. Of course, I get to use a free inventory action. Well, actually, it's not free. I had to spend 2 to do it. But what I can do now is I can switch out any of the weapons I want. I can upgrade or augment any number of items and equip and unequip any number of items. So I'm going to keep this equipped. I'm going to take my Horrid Reaper and I'm going to augment it with my Force Alternator, and then they're going to be together. So I could still like do this up here. I also have a good arcane attack, and I also have a good normal attack now with Artemis. So this is going to be really, really fun. Now, of course, he's still got his Dominator, which is absolutely amazing. And we're going to go into Jesse's turn now. And Jesse is adjacent to this Byakhee. I think he's, again, just going to dominate him. That's right. He's going to use his Dominator to go ahead and attack him. Now, of course, he gets to roll 3 black dice against Byakhee's only 2 defense against arcane attacks. So our Byakhee is going to go right here. He's got his 2 health, and here comes our Dominator. That's right. It gets to roll 3 black dice against this guy, and it needs to get only a 2 to get him. And he got a 6, so we have done 1 damage to him. We're going to go ahead and use it again. I'm going to use all my stamina to attack with this thing. And let's see how we do the second time. We got an absolute monster roll. We got a 5, 6, 7. That has destroyed the Byakhee, and he's going to be removed from the game because he is a level 1 monster. So that's going to cost him all 6 of his stamina to do that, but that's okay. He gains 1 essence for doing it. We're going to put our Dominator back right there. It's such a good weapon. And again, like I said, we're going to remove both of these from the game. He no longer gets to come out. Though it would have been fun, because I like the whole dropping him in a pit and then that guy falls in the pit thing, but we didn't get to do that this turn. Now we have to move to the spawn phase and also our horror phase. So let's go ahead and roll our dice. So we're going to go ahead and spawn our attempt to spawn our monsters. Hopefully we don't spawn any. We're going to do it with Jesse first. Jesse's going to roll. He got a 3. So again, we do not spawn a monster. We're going to move our dial down to 5. Or not a dial, our little token down to 5. And now it's Artemis's turn. Artemis has rolled a 2. He also didn't spawn a monster. Wow, we have an entire turn to go ahead and do whatever we want for the first time in a long time. Now, of course, we do have to roll for our horror event. Let's see what happens. We rolled a 4. That's enough to have a horror event happen. So we're going to move our spawn marker down 2. We're going to leave that where it is because we do have a horror event. And because we triggered a horror event, we have to raise our monster threat up 1. Oh, we're almost halfway to that 3. And our horror event states, demonizing attack. Eldritch energies pulsed from the walls around us. We sensed a disturbance in the air. Although we couldn't believe it possible, we slowly felt more downhearted and worn out. Our enemies, however, visibly basked in the newfound arcane powers. All right, let's see what it says. Monsters' attacks are arcane. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to put that there. All the monsters attack now are arcane, but we don't have any monsters on the board. That's good. Hopefully we'll get another horror event to get rid of that, or maybe that's not too bad. So we have a moment of reprise for the first time in a long, long time. So we're going to be able to move our characters, and I think it's time to try to get to that next chapter space, because in order to advance the story, we have to activate another one of these chapter spaces. So I'm actually going to move Artemis first. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to spend 2 stamina to check out the next map tile over here. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, and then it takes 2 to check out the next map tile. So we're going to go ahead and slide this one over. And I love how this neoprene mat that we have actually accommodates all 4 map tiles perfectly. And we're going to grab our next map tile. We've got our stack of map tiles, and we're just going to grab the bottom one. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this just like this. So this point is facing this way. And now, where's our chapter space? Oh, it's all the way into here, around these traps. Okay, that's going to be kind of dangerous. Now, I have 1 more stamina left. I think I'm going to wait right here, because what I want to do is, I don't know if I want a monster spawning in here. If we can have the monsters spawn in here, that would probably be better. Or I could maybe use this space right here. I think I'm going to spend my last stamina to move up 1 space. And that way I can move to Jesse's turn, and Jesse can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he can activate this. And it's going to cost him 1 stamina to do that. So we're going to put our explored token right here, and we're going to go ahead and roll our die. So when we use our recharge station, we're going to roll our special recharge die. Let's see what Jesse gets. He got 1 health. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want him to get. So Jesse's going to lose 5 stamina for moving and for activating our recharge station, but he's going to gain back his health. He's back at max 5 health. And since I have one more stamina, we're going to go ahead and use it, and we're going to take care of this action right here. Look at the top 2 cards of any item deck and reorder them. We're going to go do that with some of our neat items. So I can look at any of these decks. I think we're going to look at this one because, of course, we used our last artifacts. So let's see what new artifacts are on top. We have one that I'm not going to take because I'm afraid of spiders. It says Service Veneris. You can use the inventory for 2 stamina. You can activate chests for 2 stamina. All right, that's not too bad. And it gives me 2 defense. And then what's this one? This one looks more up my alley. Skip your spawn roll this round. Reset spawn rating. Oh, wow. That's really good. I'm going to put that one on top. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to put that one right there on top. And that's what we're going to do with Jesse. Our explorers have completed their turn. We're going to go ahead and roll for our spawn. It's at 4. And our horror is still at 3. So Jesse's going to go ahead and roll his spawn dice first. He got a 9. I didn't think we'd go too much longer without finding a monster. So what monster did Jesse found? He found we've seen this guy before, a Sorrow. All right. He's got 3 armor, 2 will, and he's got 2 health. Now, of course, when this monster dies, he's going to attack all adjacent units for 3. And he has a 3 stamina to activate a melee attack that does a lot of damage. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put him down, give him a couple health tokens, and then we're going to go ahead and put his standee on the board. Now, he's a level 1, so after we kill him, he's going to be gone. So since we're still on this map tile, he's going to spawn here. And I believe it's going to be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's not even worth counting. He's going to start right there on that spawn space. We're then going to put our track back up to 7. And now we're going to go ahead and roll for Artemis. Let's see what he found. He got a 2, so he did not find any monsters. So we're going to lower our track, but first I'm going to go ahead and roll our horror roll right here as well. And we got a 3. I don't think that happened either. Oh, our horror rating is a 3, so we're going to take a horror card, but we don't have to spawn another monster. So we're going to drop our track by 1, and our horror one is going to stay the same because we just found a horror event. And since we activated a horror event, we do have to increase our threat by 1. So let's see what has befallen our brave explorers through the horror phase. 1 winged butterfly. Enter our glorious place. Disrobe. Do you hear the chant? Agony is only a path. Incantation turn to him. Hooks in our flesh. We are feather light in the air, spinning and singing. Hark! His glory rises. Skin tears into a butterfly's wings. Dewy and delicate, croning, calling his bliss upon us. Flying, we come to life. Our bliss echoes throughout the forgotten kingdom. Let's see what happens. Explorers unequip weapons. Oh, that's too bad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and unequip all our weapons. Wow, that's something else. So we're going to put our weapons back. It's pretty funny. Oh, well, the good news is we can get them re-equipped pretty easily, especially in this chapter, because we have that thing on the chapter space itself that allows us to use our inventory for only 2. Not to mention, Jesse probably can get his back out really quick because he can equip ranged weapons for 1. So we're going to go ahead and move into our monster phase. So the only monster on the board to activate is our Saral, and he has 4 stamina. Isn't going to try to get into melee range. So he's going to either go 1, 2, 3, 4, or he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll just bring him this way. He's going to get close as can to Artemis. That's his plan. Over here would not have 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd been 1, 2, 3 squares. Where this is 1, 2, 3, 4. He's only 2 squares. That's where he's going to go. And that's the end of our monster phase. We're going to go into our explorers phase. So we get to bring both of our characters' stamina back up to 6. And they're both, I'm just going to drop his by 1 right now just to equip the Dominator. He's going to do that in his turn. I don't know if he's going to go first, and he's going to pay 2 to use his inventory action to go ahead and re-equip these 2 weapons. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go to the board and figure out which one we're going to attack with first. And it is going to be Artemis. I'm going to have him go first. He's going to go ahead and attack with his Force Alternator, since he's got that augmented onto his Hoarded Reaper. So he's going to go ahead and make the arcane attack with 1 black and 1 white die. I don't want to attack with this Horrid Reaper because I would have to pull him 1 space closer to me. And if he dies, then he's going to blow up and attack me. I don't like that at all. But the other option is to pull him next to me move one space, and then have Jesse go ahead and finish him off, and I wouldn't take any damage. Maybe that's the better play. I think we are going to do that. I lied. We're going to attack with 2 black and 2 white with our 3 stamina. Oh, it's also 3 stamina. How much stamina do I got left? I've got 4, so I could still move one after I pull him 1 square towards me. That might be the best plan. Nope, I think I like my other one better. We're going to go back and forth. I'm just going to attack him with this arcane attack, and we're going to hopefully take him down. That's our plan. So our Sorol has 2 health. We do have to do really good in this. We're going to roll a white and a black die because that is what our force alternator does. And he only has a 2 defense against this. So we're going to go ahead and roll him up. And we got 2 exactly. Oh, wow, that's pretty lucky. So we're going to do 1 damage. Now we're going to roll him again. Now this is going to be the end of our turn after this because we don't have any more stamina. But look at that, 3. We got him as well. Now he's a level 1 monster, so he's going to be removed from the game, but we get essence for that. So Artemis is going to go ahead and gain 1 essence. Wow, that was really good. And he's also going to use the rest of his stamina to make those 2 attacks. And since that was a level 1 monster, his standee and card are removed from the game. We no longer are going to see him. And he was too far away to have his extra thing activate to do any damage to anybody. He's out of actions. I'm going to move on to Jesse. Now at this point, Jesse would have gone ahead and used his, the leather holster to go ahead and equip his weapon. But he's going to move 1 over here. Then he's going to move 2 right there. Now he's going to go ahead and use this chest, I think, for 3 more stamina. And we're going to be able to, let's see here. Yeah, I think that'll be what we do. Or should I go down here? 1, 2, 3. I could use this recharge. No, I like the chest. We're going to use the chest to get the essence, and we're also going to be able to get an item. So Jesse's going to grab 1 essence, and then we're going to go ahead and grab 2 cards. I know we're going to take this one for sure, because remember, that was really cool. And then what else should we take? I think we might take, let's take this apparel card. Who knows? Maybe I'll get some boots or something that are really good. I really like the weapons we have right now, so I'm not too worried about weapons right now. Let's see what we found. Oh, that's right. I put this thing on top. I totally forgot about that. Okay, so we have that thing, and then of course we have this that I put on top as well. Skip your spawn roll, and when this comes into play, I reset my spawn rating. I think I want to keep this. I want to keep this one. Not to mention, he gets his will from that. We already have, I think I'm going to put this back on top again. Why not? Who knows? Maybe sometime down the line I might actually decide to take it. You know what? That was 2 times. I'm going to discard it. I did not take it. I had 2 chances at it. We're going to go ahead and take this, though, and put it in our inventory. So we're going to put this right up here. And Jesse moved 2 spaces and then activated the chest for 1, 2, 3. He is out of stamina. And we're going to put an explored token right here on that treasure chest, and then we're going to go into the spawn phase. And our spawn rating is at 6, and of course our horror is at 3. So let's go roll our dice. So we're going to go ahead and roll. We're going to roll for Artemis first because he has a better chance of not finding a monster. So he rolled a 2. So he did not find a monster. We're going to lower our turn marker down to 5, and we're going to roll for Jesse. Jesse's going to roll and see what he gets. He got a 9, so Jesse does find a monster. Let's go see what he found. So the new monster Jesse found on his tile is, what's this? Deacon. He's a deacon. What does he do? Reduce explorer's will by 2. Increase the horror rolls by 2. Well, that's going to be terrible. I'm going to always find a horror event. There's no way. He's ethereal too. I can't even target him. Let's see what he's got. He's got 3 armor, 3 will, 1 health, and he's got no stamina. Oh, I guess he doesn't move. He just stays where he is. Huh. All right. Well, I'm going to put him there, and we're going to give him a health token, and then I'm going to go place him on the board. So there are 2 spawn spaces for this deacon. One is here, 1, 2, 3 away, and this one's 1, 2, 3, a million more away. He's going to spawn right there. Now, he's not going to move. I don't have any way to actually hit this guy, but I do have a secret trick up my sleeve that I'm excited to show you. Of course, first we have to roll the horror event. All right, so we're going to go ahead and roll our horror event, and it doesn't matter because this guy gives +2 to the horror roll. Oh, what do you know? I got a 12. So since we spawned a monster, we're going to go ahead and reset this up to 7. It would have gone down to 5, but then of course we rolled the monster, so it goes back to 7. And of course our horror rating will stay the same. And again, we're going to move our monster threat up by 1. Now let's go ahead and resolve our card and see what horrors befall our explorers. Thickness of bliss. Vermin dwell within our walls. The filth inside our hollowed halls. Lights, steam, and mad eyes gleaming threatening our blissful dreaming. So we voice our caustic sonnet, till the air is thick as grit. As we sing, our song will hone it, the veil of bliss their sights will split. All right, what happens? Reduce explorer's range by 1. Okay, that's not actually that bad. That's totally fine. I can deal with that, because we're not actually going to be firing this turn. So we would normally move into our monster's turn, but he doesn't actually do anything. He just sits right there. So it's time to take him out. How are we going to do that? We can't actually target him, but he is standing on a spawn space. And one of our actions is to be able to seal a spawn space. It's going to cost us 3 stamina and 4 essence to do this. But to get him off the board, I think that's the way to do it. So how are we going to do this? We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I can do this better. All right, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right to there. That's where he's going to go. And then Jesse is going to move 1, 2, 3, and then he is going to go ahead and destroy this spawn space. Now, Jesse only has 3 stamina, but I can contribute as long as I'm either adjacent to the active player that's using the essence, or if I am adjacent to the actual space that's being used by the other player. And actually he's both, because I decided not to walk down in there in case for some reason something activates a trap. We're going to go ahead and seal our space. So when we seal this space, it's going to go ahead and decrease the monster threat by 1, and if there's a unit on top of it, it destroys it. So this guy is destroyed. Then, on top of that, we're going to put 2 of our explored tokens to show that that was destroyed. And then the last thing we have to do is put a lighted token on top of our chapter space. Now, what does that do for us? That's a great question. When we go to activate a chapter space, it takes 3 stamina and 3 essence to do that. When the chapter space is lit from destroying a spawn space or some other thing that might make it do that, it only takes 1 stamina now to activate this chapter space. So that's going to be really good. Now we're going to go ahead and take care of all the things. We have to reduce our threat by 1, and we have to lose our stamina and our essence. So we have to give up 4 essence. Well, first we have to do our movement, and he's down to 1, and he's going to use all 6. And he's going to use 1 essence, but he's going to use 3. 1, 2, no, I lied. He's going to use 2, and he's going to use 2. We have used our 4 essence to destroy our spawn space. Now, since we destroyed the spawn space, it also destroyed our deacon. So with our deacon being destroyed, he's going to gain an essence for destroying a creature. And one of the more important things is we get to reduce the monster threat by 1. So our deacon has been destroyed. We're going to go ahead and discard his card and remove his standee from the board. Of course, he is a level 2 monster. We may be seeing him again. And now it's time for our spawning and also our horror. So let's go ahead and roll our dice. So we're going to go ahead and roll for Artemis first, and he rolled a 9. So he has found a monster. It's amazing how high this die rolls when I only need a 7 through 10 to find a monster. So let's see what we have found. We have found, oh, it's that Mygo. The Mygo's back. He has 3 defense, 4 will, 2 health, and 5 stamina. Well, he's pretty tough for a level 1 monster. But when he dies, I get to invoke the Explorer event. So that's awesome. Now he's going to try to get next to us and do an arcane attack. So he's going to gain his 2 health, and then I'm going to go put his standee on the board. Now, since we destroyed this spawn space, there's only 1 left. And if we had destroyed both spawn spaces, nothing would even be able to spawn on this board. He's going to spawn right there. And now we're going to roll for our second character. All right, so we're going to roll for our second monster. What are the odds of getting another one? Well, pretty good. We got 10. So here comes another monster. And let's see what monster we have found as well. We have found, the Yadathian. He's got 2 armor, 4 will, 1 health, and 5 stamina again. And he is attempting to attack us, and he has that attack that is not blocked by obstacles. When this monster dies, I gain an item, and when the monster is the only monster, it is ethereal. All right, we're going to put him down right there. He's going to gain 1 health, and we're going to go ahead and place him on the board. So he's going to get placed adjacent to our Mygo right there. And now we have to go ahead and roll our horror event. We nope, we didn't make anything. We got a 4. I was saying at least if we rolled a 1 this time, it might have actually worked because we got rid of that other monster. But nope, we got a 4. Time for a horror event. And of course, we're going to move our monster threat up by 1. So now we're going to see what happens to our explorers. Impatience. Bulky masses, twisting, turning, gnawing, clawing, boiling, churning, eager children, hungry, thirsty, yearning to the point of bursting. With love we kiss all of our creases, lick and brush all of your fleeces. Fly forward now, expand in darkness, slither at one, each other caresses. Monsters can move through units. Well, that's going to be terrible. All right, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and activate our monsters now. Now, when I place this guy, I have to place him next to this, and it does say that my explorers can choose where he goes, but I still want to put him in a place that kind of would, I mean, I could put him down here if I want to, but that's no fun. He needs to be probably where he's wanted to try to attack us. So the first person that's going to go is our Mygo. He's the first one in our queue. He's got 5 stamina, and he's going to try to get to us and attack us at 2 stamina left, but he's not going to be able to do that because he has to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So he is adjacent to us, but he can't actually hit us. He only has 1 stamina left. Next, we're going to have our Yadathian go. Our Yadathian has 5 stamina, and he's going to try to use 2 of it to attack with his arcane. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and again, he's not able to see us yet because of these walls. They don't ignore walls when they attack. So he's going to move up here. That's the best our monsters can do this turn. And now our explorers have some options. I could try to shut both those doors and block them in there, but I think it's better just to probably try to take them out. So our explorers are going to go back to 6 stamina each, and then we're going to have to figure out who is going to go first. I think it might be Artemis. So Artemis, I think, is going to go first, but I want to do this guy again. He was right here. I forgot they can move through units thanks to that horror card. So he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right through these unit here to get over here. He wants to be as close as he can to these people. So he's going to go ahead and stand right next to Artemis, and Artemis is going to go first and hit him with that giant scythe of death, this horrid Reaper. He's going to get him with the horrid Reaper, attack 3 adjacent units. That's going to be his plan. So our horrid Reaper gets to roll 3 black dice against this Yadathian. And I've got to kill him first because if he's the only monster on the board, he's going to be ethereal, and I can't do anything about that. So we got an absolute monster of a roll. We were able to totally take this guy out. He has no more health left. He is dead. And I'm going to gain 1 essence for doing that. And we're going to go and remove him from the game because he is a level 1 monster. So we're going to remove his standee from the game, and now I think I've got 3 more stamina left. Why don't we go ahead and hit this guy too? And that way Jesse can maybe finish him off and start moving towards this chapter space to hopefully finish that as well. So our Mygo has 3 defense, and we're going to go ahead and use our Horrid Reaper again, which is going to give us our 3 black dice. Now the funny thing is I could use this if I want to. When you attack this round, you will use the armor for blocking. It's going to go down to a 2 instead of a 3. I don't think that's worth an essence. We're just going to rock this guy with these dice. Look at that. We rocked him real good. So he's going to go ahead and lose 1 of his 2 health, and we're probably going to have Jesse go ahead and finish him off. So that is going to use all of Artemis's stamina. And Jesse is going to be able to go ahead and make an attack. He ignores obstacles when attacking, so he's going to ignore both this and this when he attacks. So his line of sight is going to go right to this Mygo. Only these walls are really going to block his line of sight with that weapon. So he's going to spend 3 stamina to attack with his Dominator. He gets to roll 3 black dice against him. And look, he got a 5. That's more than enough. Now, he had a 4 defense, which was pretty closer than I thought it was going to be. And so he has taken his 2nd point of damage, and he is also defeated. So he's going to gain 1 essence for defeating the Mygo and 1, 2, 3 essence for using the Dominator in combat. Our Mygo now gets removed from the game because he's a level 1 monster. There can't be too many more level 1 monsters left in this deck. And we're going to move on to Jesse. Jesse still has 3 stamina. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and hopefully he can get to this chapter space and use it next turn. But before we do that, we do have to try for spawning monsters, and we have to roll for our horror as well. I'm going to go ahead and have Jesse roll first, and he got a 1. So Jesse did not spawn a monster, meaning our track is going to move down to 6. And we're going to roll for Artemis. And Artemis got a 4. So again, we got no spawns. We're going to have to move our tracker down to a 5. Now we have to roll for our horror. Our horror is at a 3. And we got an 8, so we do have to deal with a horror event. So we're going to go ahead and move our track down 2, and we're not going to move that one because we got a horror event. And for triggering that horror event, we've got to bring our, monster threat up by 1. We're 2 away from putting in level 3 monsters. I don't know if we're going to be ready for those yet. So we're going to go ahead and see what our horror card says. Broken item. I'm sure it's going to go real good. These hulls have an inexplicable way of imbuing the very air we breathe with pessimism, and it obstructs every step we take here. Sometimes you need to lie back and allow the current to take you. But what if it only flows towards certain oblivion? Destroy top item card from each item deck. Okay, that's not too bad. I'd probably put a couple things on there, but I don't even remember what they were anymore. All right, let's see what we destroyed. We destroyed a ritual cloak. Not too bad. Your attacks are arcane. Whatever, that's not too big of a deal. Let's see what this one is. I think this one we put back on top, didn't we? Nope. Reset spawn and horror ratings. Doesn't matter. We never seem to move them anyway. We keep finding monsters all the time. All right. And let's this one. Oh, I remember I put this one on top, but oh well, it's gone. Not the end of the world. And let's see what our last one is. Weaponsmith set. Equip weapon, augment weapon for 1. Increase your weapon's arcane attack rolls by 1. Wow, that would have been actually pretty good. All right. Well, sadly, it's gone away too. So we're going to go ahead and reset our 2 stamina tracks, and we're going to go ahead and move into our explorer's turn. And I think we're going to use Jesse first. He's going to move 1 up here, and he's going to spend 1 stamina to go ahead and activate this chapter space and complete this chapter. So he's going to go down 2 stamina. And since we completed our chapter, let's go ahead and flip our card and see what it looks like. Oh, wow. Okay, now where are we? Looks like we're moving into like a temple or something. An underground evil temple, probably. All right, let's go ahead and move that card and read the next part. Underground crypts. We stood in awe and fear while staring at the source of the eerie melody. The remarkable craftsmanship of the stone was only rivaled by the unaccountable sense of threat and torment that seemed to emanate from this strange entryway. The stairs plunging down into the catacombs glowed with a weak crimson light that radiated from within. Our stupefied gazes were torn from this sight by yet another tremor that ran the length of the room. It reverberated across the spacious chamber and rumbled into its dusty corners. There was no time to lose. Or was it too late already? So here are our rules. We have to reduce the attack rolls by 2. Oh, that's terrible. But I get to place an exit token. Oh, we're going to get out of here. Explorers unequip their items. Oh, wow, I have absolutely nothing equipped. That's amazing. All right, we're going to reset our tracks. So this one's going to go to 4, and we're going to reset our spawn one to 6. So we have to unequip our items. Wow. All right, so we're going to put everything back in our inventory. That's absolutely amazing. All right, so we have to spend an action to actually even do that. Well, we might not even do that. We might just run out the exit and see what happens. All right, I have a plan. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 up to there, and he's going to stop right there. He doesn't have enough essence or stamina to get off the board, but that's going to be okay. So he's left with 1 stamina. Now, Artemis here, he's going to go and shut this door. He's going to shut that door, and the reason he's doing that is because when things start spawning from there, their fastest way is going to be through here, and if they stop at that door, they're not going to be able to get to Jesse or Artemis. So we're going to put I'm going to actually put the door marker like this so you can see it on camera, but it's right here on that door. That's going to cost him, I believe, 3 stamina. No, it only costs him 2. I'm sorry. It costs him 2 to do that. So then I'm going to move here for 1, and then for the other 3, I'm going to go ahead and use his inventory action to get all his stuff back on. So he used the door for 2, moved for 1, and then used an inventory action for 3 to put all his stuff back on. We're going to equip all this stuff because this stuff is all awesome. All right, except for the javelin. The javelin can go over here. That's going to be the end of Artemis's turn. And of course, Jesse is left with 1 stamina, and that's just fine. We're going to go ahead and roll for our spawns. So we're going to have Artemis go ahead and roll first. He rolled a 1, so we did not find a spawn. I'm going to drop our rating or our marker down to a 5 and roll for Jesse. And Jesse did find a monster. We're going to go ahead and spawn that monster. So let's see what monster we found. Hopefully one that doesn't walk through doors. We found, oh my gosh, look at that, an Urhog. That thing looks awesome. Wow, amazing. All right, 3 defense, 5 will. He has 1 health and only 1 stamina. So with 1 stamina, 6+ attack 2 explorers. Otherwise, explorers move up to 3 spaces toward the spawn space. Well, that's terrible. Attack 2 explorers. Otherwise, explorers move. I'd rather... Oh, I see. So on a 6, he's going to... Or better, he attacks us. Otherwise, we're going to move. Oh, that's terrible. I don't want to move towards him. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put him on the board. And he only has 1 health. The good news is he's not ethereal, but he is immobile, so I can't move him. And he, of course, is going to spawn right there. So our horror rating is at a 4, and we have to roll the die and see. We got a 2. All right, that's awesome. So there is no horror event this turn. So we're going to keep our track at 6 because we spawned a monster, but we're going to drop our horror track to 3. So now the only monster we have to activate is this thing. So shutting this door was actually, it didn't help us at all, but that's okay. We're going to roll. On a 6+, he's going to attack everybody. Otherwise, he's going to make us move towards him. I'm just going to roll right here on the board. He got an 8, so he's going to go ahead and attack us with 2 white dice. All right, so he's going to come in here and attack us with 2 white dice. Now, the funny thing is Artemis did actually equip his item, so he gets to take his 3 defense. But poor Jesse has nothing equipped, so he also only has 3 defense. We're going to roll 2 white dice and see what happens. He got only a 2, so he didn't hit either of our explorers because they both have 3 defense. So we're going to move into our explorer's turn, and he's going to go ahead and equip his items for 3, and then he's going to move out for 2. So let's go ahead and put his dominator back on because that's domination right there. And he's going to go ahead and put these other ones all around him. And he gets to equip this now too. Why not? There we go. He's all set, and he's also out of here. We also are going to have Artemis gain all his stamina, and you guessed it, he's spending 2 stamina to get out of here as well. So both our characters have hastily run out of here. We have gone off our exit space. And since we were able to explorer's exit space thing, we're out of here. We get to go to the next card. Let's see what it looks like. Wow, look at that. It's a bunch of people all running around. It looks like a mountain of bodies or something. Wow, look at all those candles. What a great piece of art. All right, we're going to move that off, and it says, Disturb the Ritual. The seemingly endless stairs eventually led us to an enormous chamber, but it was not this that caught our eye. No, it was not this room that haunts our nightmares, nor was it the Maccabi play acted out in front of us. At the north end of the chamber, the ritual was clearly in full force. A pile of butchered bodies formed the centerpiece of this gruesome tableau. Around the vile pyramid, several robed figures shook and chanted wildly, ununulating their triumph and joy at the gargantuan chasm that stretched from the edge of their ceremony. There was never an ocean more abysmal or a black more impenetrable than that which lay before our eyes. I feared for my sanity as I fought to master both nausea and terror. The darkness seemed to grow by the second, feeding itself on every scream and shriek. Older than time, stronger than death, its name is madness. And it says here that we are going to go into our end game. So we're going to go ahead and flip this, and we're going to see what's there. Oh, it looks like we're walking into the light. Huh. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that there, and here it says Horror in the Ice end game, and we're going to reveal that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this playthrough. We're going to, like I said, be moving into the end game for Horror in the Ice. Our explorers, I think, are doing pretty good. We have some pretty good weapons, and I think we're actually doing better than we did near the beginning of this. But I don't know what's under this card. It could mean certain disaster for us. If you are enjoying the playthrough, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell symbol so you know when that end game is coming. Also, feel free to share this video with anybody you know. And please leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. Of course, I am trying to shoot these videos really close together, so if there are any mistakes I've been making at all, they're going to be found in probably the Klingon subtitles, and also I'm going to try to put maybe a little note before the video to kind of save some of the errors that were caught. There are a lot of things that go on in this game, and it's really great to hear how everybody's joining together to be able to make this the best playthrough there is. Thank you all so much for everything you've wrote in the comments, and please feel free to keep on putting things in the comments. I love to hear from everyone, and you're excited to see if we can get through the endgame of Horror in the Ice. Then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.